Welcome back. A health scare in 2008 changed actress Suzanne Somers' outlook on life. Ever since then, she has been a pioneer for green eating and natural remedies. She tells her story in a new book, From Toxic to Not Sick, which is a New York Times bestseller. Joining me right now is Suzanne Somers. And Suzanne, it is wonderful to have you on the show.
You too.
Congratulations to you. So let's talk.
I like you.
I like you. I'm a big fan for the longest time. Are you kidding? But now I'm a big fan of your books and your tapes. And I want to hear about From Toxic to Not Sick, because there are a whole host of toxins in our body, and some people don't even realize it.
Right. We're under the greatest environmental assault in the history of humanity. And so it's there's an epidemic of ADD, ADHD, OCD, dyslexia, dyspraxia, autism, asthma, autoimmune diseases like MS, fibromyalgia, lupus. And you think about it, 10, 15 years ago, you didn't hear about people with brain disorders and autoimmune diseases. And the way that toxins come in are through the skin, through the lungs, the air we breathe, and the food that we eat. When we decided to put poison pesticides on our food, I don't know who thought that was a good idea, but it's wreaking havoc with our GI tract. So when the toxins come in and end up in the GI tract, they eat through the barrier wall, leak out, that's that leaky gut you're hearing about that so many people have, roam through the bloodstream looking for organs of opportunity, their favorite organ being the brain, because that's 65% fat, and toxins like to live in fat.
Wow.
And here's what's happening to our kids, and all the way, every age group. The kids are born toxic. In the Environmental Working Group did a study where out of 287 toxins in the cord blood of newborns, 180 common to every single baby. So they're already born toxic. The mothers are toxic without realizing it, and that's where all these brain disorders are coming from.
How did this happen, that these toxins are getting into our systems increasingly over the last few years? Is it just the commercialized world, that what's in the air and what we're eating is chemically laced, or what? Why has this become such an epidemic now?
Well, I know that you have an Italian mother.
Yes.
She didn't. She grew her vegetables.
That's right.
She didn't put this poison on your vegetables.
You're absolutely right.
She gave you real food, right?
Yeah.
If you can pick it, pluck it, milk it, or
You're
shoot it, your mom
right.
gave it to you. And I remember when we used to have an ant infestation, my mom would make a sticky paste of ivory soap and water and put it along the ant trail, and they'd come out,
rather than putting some chemical on it.
The day she brought home this black can and sprayed it around, I look at that as that was the beginning of this whole episode that we're now experiencing. My age group, I'm a baby boomer. The new stats are 50% of us can expect to have Alzheimer's. If you have diabetes, you have an increased risk of another 50%, which makes it 75%. And I was lecturing to a group of people, and when I lecture, thousands of people show up because people are so worried about all this. I said, there's not one person sitting in a nursing home today that ever thought that it'd end up there. Not one. And I said, so if you don't think that you'll ever end up there, what are you doing different?
Wow.
You've got to think about what you put on your skin. You've got to think about what you feed yourself. You've got to think about what you clean your house with today, because it matters.
You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
So beyond everything that you just said, are there easy, low-hanging fruit type things to ensure that, in fact, we are wiping the toxins out of our bodies?
Yes, I interviewed the 5 top environmental doctors in the country. So it's like getting an appointment. They each gave me their best. The great thing about the solution is it doesn't cost anything or much. There's coconut oil detoxes. There are liver flushes. It's like one of the cancer doctors I interviewed. He said, cancer is manageable. I said, what do you mean? He said, if you give it what it wants, it'll leave you alone. I said, what does it want? He said, it wants a detox body and good nutrition. He said, half my patients are mold patients, and that's how this happened for us. Our house burned down in Malibu. We moved into a beautiful house on the hill, and it was so beautiful. I said, let's buy this and not go through the aggravation. In the 4 years we were there, we both got sick. My husband started getting terrible sinus and nose and red eyes, and he's so healthy. And then he started getting facial tics, spasming, and uncontrollable grimacing.
Wow.
And then I would wake up in the morning with a flat stomach. By the end of the afternoon, I'd look like I'm giving birth to a basketball.
Unbelievable.
Under this house, unbeknownst to us, was black mold, like Little Shop of Horrors, growing up into the drywall and through the air conditioning ducts, and we were breathing it in, and it's taken us 4 years to clean this out. He was told by 2 doctors either Parkinson's or pre-Parkinson's. He didn't have Parkinson's.
Unbelievable.
I ended up in the hospital, was told that I had cancer. I didn't have cancer. I had black mold. And I interviewed Dr. Richie Shoemaker, who's the mold expert in the country here. And he said with all the flooding here in New Jersey this year, he said they think their problem is wet buildings. He said their problems haven't even begun.
We got real quick, 30 seconds. You're headlining a new show.
Oh, Vegas. Oh, my God.
You going to Vegas?
I'm so excited.
Yeah.
I have my own room at the Westgate Hotel, Suzanne's. And they're the first hotel putting in an organic restaurant called Suzanne's Organic Cafe. And I think it's like a game changer.
I love it. And I loved you on Dancing with the Stars as well. Congratulations
Tracy,
on that.
I'm still sore.
Suzanne, you're the best. You are wonderful. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you.
This is an important book, From Toxic to Not Sick, Suzanne Somers. We'll be back to the market when we